I'm so glad you guys are practicing with me today. I showed up on Monday. It was a snowy day, and it was just a couple of us. Denny was here.
I wanted to come.
But I'm glad to see more people here today. Just as a heads up, I will not be live streaming on Monday, and I will not be here on Monday, but Jen will be teaching for me. So there will be classes here. Some of you already know, but my sister found out she has breast cancer. She has to have a double mastectomy Friday, so I'm leaving town to go help my mom and my dad, but also to be there for her when she gets out of her surgery. And then I'll return Monday night, and I may have to go back, in a couple weeks to be of help to both her and my parents, because she was one of my dad's caregivers. So anyway, taking it one day at a time right now. So what I wanted to mention for our theme today, it's not too in-depth, and it's something you may have heard me talk about before, but it never hurts to go over this information because we sometimes forget that everything is based on energy. And there's a constant energy exchange. And energy is often reflected back to us as well. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about everything at a micro level affects the macro. And everything at the macro level is going to affect us at the micro level. And that kind of pours into this theme for today as well. So I was listening to, I listen to a lot of people, but this particular thing was an angel message. And you get to pick 1, 2, or 3, and then that's the message for you, and then it's explained. And the message that I received was prepare for your journey. And then she started explaining, and she goes, really, this could apply to anyone. She said, but just think about this is the beginning of the new year. What is your journey going to be like this year? Are you trying to take a particular path or a direction in some avenue of your life? And from considering that, also be aware of where you have stuck or stagnant energy. Is the stuck or stagnant energy some emotion that hasn't been processed? Is it your thinking that has you blocked? Is it something being held and starting to calcify in your body? Also, is it anything in your surrounding? Is it coming up with your relations? Is it coming up in your workspace? Is it showing up in your home? And the question she had us ask was, first, where is the stuck energy? Well, where am I trying to go, or what am I trying to do? What's my path? What's my journey? Where am I experiencing stuck energy? And then being in the question of, is the energy around me or the people around me or the environment around me being supportive of this journey? Okay. So I was listening to all this and I was like, I don't know if this, really applies. And she was giving different examples. I was like, I don't know if this really fits me. I wonder why I picked this one, right? Well, I've been given opportunities lately to teach more, and I don't want to teach anymore. I'm teaching enough. I get tired of my own voice, and I'm going through menopause. My body's changing. I teach enough. I teach 10 classes a week. That's enough. And then I do workshops on top of that. My goal now is to first do more yoga retreats, and I also want to do more Reiki. I want to do more healing work. So, and I haven't been doing that, but I've also been trying to think, do I want to rent a space, to do Reiki like people do for massage, or do I want to keep it out of my home in the studios? Anyway, I'm just trying to find my direction with it. So I've been in the question, literally, you guys, I go back to my desk in my little yoga room, and I'm, and I just listened to this in another room. I come back to my desk and I look down and I'm like, my mouse pad, Half Moon Yoga. I look to the side of my computer. It's all my old tax files from Half Moon Yoga. And as you know, Half Moon Yoga doesn't exist anymore. The studio is gone. The business is done. But what is in my workspace environment? What is at my desk that I sit at every day? Yoga, 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 yoga. I love yoga. I'm not giving up yoga. But half moon is old, stale, stuck energy. Do you see what I'm saying? So my goal today is, after I teach this class, to empower me, I'm going to go and order a new mouse pad that says Moonbeam Yoga and Reiki. I'm going to take all those files and I'm going to store them away. So, who knows if I'll need them, but I'm going to store them away before I throw them out. And I'm going to clean out my space. So I want you to think about, because this is like feng shui principles. Feng shui is all based on energy. Where's the clutter in your home? And if you've ever studied a Bagua map is something you can Google, and it's a map that has 9 different squares. They each have a different color. They each hone in on something different: career, family, children, travel, reputation. Anyway, there's like 9 different ones. There's a part of the body that goes to each one as well. And then you can start to look at your map and look at the design of your home and go, okay, well, this room is really cluttered here. And you may see a relationship to where things are showing up physically in your body because of how that energy is reflective of what's happening inside, right? Everything happens through energy exchange, micro to macro, macro to micro. Okay, it's fascinating. Think about your home where you get more cobwebs, where you get more dust bunnies, where you have too much clutter, where you always having to or where you tend to just push and shove things aside. Think about even in your car, So today we're going to do some yoga meditation that helps to clean up the inside. Hopefully that will affect the energy on the outside. And when you leave from here, take a look at your car. My car needs to be cleaned out right now, and I'm about to take a road trip. So that's going to be happening today too. But also take a look at your environment in your home. And you can find where that stuck and stagnant energy is. It's a good time to clear it out for your path, for your journey, for your health, for your well-being. It all interrelates. All right, let's sit up. Jenny, you can stay on your back if you want. We're going to sit up and do some breath work. We're just going to do diaphragmatic breathing. That's why you can stay on your back. So I want you to notice how it takes a little effort to allow the body to sit this way. And I always sit on a prop when I'm on the floor because that helps to minimize the effort and the work of sitting straight for me. And it also helps me to avoid dumping over in my posture. Another thing that can help, if you slide your hands more to the upper thighs, closer to that hip crease, it can be a prop for you to hold up the heart. Close your eyes. And for this first moment, just acknowledge, after hearing my spiel, where you think you have some stuck or stagnant energy. Maybe you've noticed it in your body. Maybe you've been aware enough to notice some old, outdated dialogue happening with your inner chatter. Maybe it's fear. Perhaps it's hidden somewhere, or not really hidden, in your home or in your workspace. And consider how cleaning and clearing things out can open up space for new energy and new opportunities and relationships to come in. And then from being introspective, take a hold of your breath. Breathe in and out fully and completely. in a diaphragmatic way. Some lineages teach the belly ballooning first and then the chest. Some lineages teach the chest ballooning, then the belly. As long as you're getting movement in both. Through this conscious breath work, we're able to connect the mind and the body, to connect back to our higher self, our spirit. But remember, the breath is also purifying. Continue to use the breath as a way to purify the inside, to have an effect on your outer environment. Now, if you're on your back, you may want to go ahead and come to sit. Get a little music going. And then we're going to come to a position. I'll mirror you. Have your right shin in front and your left knee bent beside you. Your bolster is going to be long ways beside your right hip. So we're going to work on a half pigeon. Lean forward and stack onto your fingertips. And as you inhale, lift up through the sternum. And then as you exhale, bow over your shin. Don't worry about how high or low you go. Sorry. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow down. So you're lifting on the inhale, descending on the exhale. This time, when you fold over, hold it. Feel free to stack onto your elbows if you're that low, or you can bring blocks underneath your arms. You can even rest in prayer hands to penetrate the third eye. Third eye that broadens our awareness, that helps us to receive insights. What helped me realize and open my eyes to what was really surrounding my workspace the other day. Since we're in a forward fold, focus on your out breaths. Maybe let them go a little bit longer in duration. Maybe this area of your body is where you're feeling some stuck energy. Could just be because we've had 2 snowstorms and maybe you've been a little bit more sedentary, a little bit more frigid with these temperatures, and you may just need to thaw it out. Your next in breath, let's slowly start to come up. Now that bolster is alongside that right hip, and you're going to twist. So it's about a twist here. And you're slowly going to come down, and you can rest your forearms on top like this, but you can also take your forearms down to the mat or to the ground and lower down to one cheek, one side of your face.
See what's possible. Check in with your low back. Is this position for the legs going to work for you? Or do you need to stack the knees at this point, which is also an option? See what feels best.
So this is our first restorative position. This is typically more of an active pose.
But since we're using the prop, try to soften the muscles in the upper body. Turn the eyelids down, stay within. See if you can breathe into your back body. And I also want you to consider things that may be feeding your brain at different intervals of the day. What are you listening to? What are you watching? Because those things may be affecting us at the waking level or in our dreams. I experienced something firsthand the other night. Rob wanted to start watching some show called Ozark. I don't recommend it. And he knows how sensitive that I am. I don't like violence. I don't like watching things that are disturbing in nature. And it's quite entertaining, I will give it that. But there was some disturbing scene that I had only witnessed just in that moment of watching it. But when I went to bed that night and when I would close my eyes, I kept getting that scene flashing in my brain. And then we had to start talking, and we had to start talking about other things that were fluffier, just to settle my mind down and to give me a little peace before I went to sleep. I like to think of twist as a way to wash and wring things out of our system. We know it does the squeeze and soak effect to the abdominal organs and glands. But consider other stressors that you need to release. Your next inhale, slide your hands closer, press down through your palms, and gently come up. We're going to swap the position of the legs for the half pigeon, and the bolster can move to the opposite side of the body. Now the left shin is out in front, the right knee is bent off to the side. You're resting on the fingertips, lifting up through the sternum, and then as you exhale, you're dropping over. So Betsy, turn towards Denny's. So you're coming over that left shin instead of the bolster. Turn your upper body this way.
Are you talking about this story?
Betsy. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
I'm already down here. I'm like, what is she doing?
Hey, trust me, I have moments where things do not compute to me. I've been known to have very, very blonde roots, even though I'm a natural redhead. Inhale, slowly lift up. No offense to the blondes. Exhale, fold. Inhale in. Good. Exhale, hands to fold. Inhale, lift. And then exhale. This time we're gonna hold in place. So that movement of coming in and out of the postures can work like a warm-up before these deeper holds. And it could also be beneficial if you have arthritis. So holding poses in a longer duration is not always the best when you're arthritic in certain areas of your body. So if you need to continue that lift and descent with a controlled breath, you can keep that motion going to avoid discomfort. Do a little cross comparison between the previous side and this side. Are you feeling the same type of sensation in the same places or other places? Do you feel stuck anywhere? Consider your conscious breath work as a way to break through some of this. And just as you're doing this review, remember that Venus is currently in retrograde, and that can throw our feelings off. Mercury is also in retrograde, so it could throw our communication off. And I was reminding my friend of that yesterday. I haven't spoken to her in a while. And she was saying, you know, I'm doing pretty good, except I have this old tape, my old self coming up in my mind, questioning my worth, questioning my worthiness. And I reminded her of the retrogrades. On your next inhale, let's gently start to lift up, and we're going to move towards this twist. This is a different twist than what we typically do with the bolster. This is more of the wheel of life twist. So as you inhale, lift up, exhale, turn towards that left hip. You can stack your arms on top of the bolster, or you can pour down over the bolster. And then, of course, check in with your low back, check in with those SI joints. There are some days where we need to stack the knees versus having them staggered to this degree. Broaden the upper back. Face plant down. Close the eyes. Notice if you're recycling any thoughts.
Notice if you're like my friend and things are being regurgitated from the past that you thought you had already overcome and worked through. If that's the case, just try to breathe it away. Or focus on the breath so that those thoughts minimize. Plugging in the affirmation, I am calm, I am content. I am calm, I am content. Next inhale, slide your hands closer, slowly lift away from that prop. Now, turn to face, well, you maybe already faced the front. Have your bolster behind your back. And I would suggest bringing the blocks up a little closer as well. We're going to start off leaning into our hands, bending the knees, separating the feet nice and wide. And we're just going to windshield wipe the knees to one side and then to the other as we breathe out. So inhale to one, exhale to other. Doesn't matter which way you spin. When we move right to left, then meaning right with the spine and left with the spine, we work the flow of digestion in the body, or we honor the way digestion flows in the body. And if we move left to right, then we honor the flow of the prana and how the energy flows in the body. All right, let's come back to center. Let's straighten out the legs. Flex your feet. Fly the arms up. Have the palms facing one another. Drive your thighs down towards the ground. Push out with your heels, slight open through your toes, and then push a little bit more forward with the mound of the big toes. And then as you exhale, let your hands fan away. Bend your right knee again. Turn open from the hip for Janu Sirsasana. Lift the arms back up. Feel free to lace your hands above, and then exhale, start to pour out over the straight leg. Now, if your hands don't reach the foot, no problem. Release the hands apart and they can rest somewhere on the mat. You can also keep the hands laced, place them over the shin and keep the elbows up to keep the chest more open. Or you can, of course, take it around the sole of the foot. The knee and the toes on the side stay facing up. Consider how the legs and feet propel us forward into action. We have stuck energy inside or outside. It blocks and prohibits some of that movement. On your next in-breath, go ahead and come all the way up to the top. And as you exhale, you're going to take your left hand to the bent knee. You're going to twist to the right. The right hand can rest on that bolster. Just soften that shoulder down from the ear. See if you can find a little bit more movement in your low back, mid back, upper back, or neck. Now gently neutralize the neck. Bring the chin back in line with your chest. You're still kind of more or less looking towards that front door. The right arm's now going to lift up alongside your face, and you're going to pour over the straight leg. So it's more like a side bend. Really a hybrid. You're still in the twist. You've got the side bend. You've got the open hip. You've got the hamstring stretch. Very similar to Pavrita Janushasana. And then inhale, slowly return up to the top. Good, now unwind from that twist, face the front. This is where we're gonna move into a restorative position. We're doing a blend today. If you want the block for support, go ahead and tuck it there. If you want it to be more yin, you can hang out without the block. But we're gonna slowly roll back into a heart opening position over the bolster. Sometimes that stuff or cell energy is just needing a change of heart. Maybe you've been stuck in certain ideology about yourself or a situation or a place. This can be your contemplative food for thought. Or you can just meditate on your breath. need an affirmative statement to roll over in your mind. It's the same one we did earlier. I am calm. I am content. Calm. I am content. Let's begin to exit out. So slide your left foot in. Roll to the right side, push down through the left hand. Step onto the hands, bend the knees. Inhale, the windshield wiper twist to one side. Exhale to the other. One at your own pace, according to your own breath. Remember to end on the side that you did not start with. And then slide your feet up. Come on to the tops of the sits bones, push down through your thigh bones, press out through your heels, and lift your arms to an active Dandasana staff pose. Exhale, let the hands stand back down, let your left knee slide up, and your hip to open out. Janu Shasana. Inhale, the arms radiate skyward. Exhale, again, you can have your hands resting on your chin. You can separate them on either side of the leg, or you can keep them intertwined and wrap around the sole of the foot. Just see what is more applicable for your body today. Maybe the question, are you surrounded by people who are being supportive? Is your environment being supportive? Inhale, let's come up. As we exhale, we'll let the right hand come to the bent knee. The left hand can go to the bolster behind the back. Just bend the elbow, soften the shoulder. And maybe this is enough of a twist, but if you want to deepen the twist, come back to the low back, turn a little more. Your mid back, to the upper back, potentially to the neck. You have a little bit more range of motion. On your next breath, on the exhale, just turn the head and up so the chin's in line with your chest if you're still in the twist. Uplift the left arm on your inhale and roll over the straight leg on your exhale. Inhale gently, return back. Unwind from your twist. Determine here on this side to need that block for additional support. So I've always loved the bolster coming right to my back until lately. I have a lot of stuff that comes up when I close the studio. And I wonder why I still have this stuck energy. Right? I'm hoping when I clear my desk, this stuck energy will go away. So if I slide back and create a little space right there, then my back feels better upon the arrival of the bolster. Now, another thing that you can do, if it is your low back causing you that little bit of discomfort, if the space doesn't give you that sense of ease, sitting on a blanket can. So that's another option for you. Your palms turn open so the head and shoulder bones can roll back. All the way with the breath as it travels up and down your body. Check in with the stream of your thoughts out of curiosity, but then practice detachment. That way you're not getting stuck or invested or too involved in those inner circles. You can minimize these things by practicing this mindfulness and meditation. You can resonate more with the affirmative statement we're using. I am calm, I am content. Good time to use that affirmation.
And calm. And stay. Next one breath. Go ahead and slide your right foot back. Roll to your left side body. Press into the right hand. So in blissful flow, we did a flow practice and built up to half moon and did several different variations of half moon. This is gentle. We're keeping it a little bit more in the restorative mix. So we're going to do a modified form of it, staying on the ground. It's kind of what we refer to as a side plank sometimes. So check in with your sticky mat. Is it thick enough on this wood floor, or do you need some extra support with the blanket? We'll start in tabletop position, and then you can determine if you need that blanket set up. And then from here, you're just gonna take your left foot over to the side a little bit so that you can extend your right leg down the lane of the mat and soar that right arm skyward. Now you are welcome to stay here with your right foot grounded, or you can flex that ankle and hover it in midair. A good hip strengthener. And then push out through the mound of the right big toe. This is what we would be instructing if we were in half moon. Have a nice open, expansive belly here. Stacking the shoulders. Finding your balance and stability. Good, now lower the right foot. Bring the right hand down, bring the left foot back to the mat, and send the right leg over to the right side. Flip your right palm open, fan it up towards the sky for stargazer. Similar, but a totally different pose. Good, exhale, lower the right hand down, bring your right knee to join. And now we'll take that to the other side. The right foot will fan off to the edge of the mat or beyond. The left leg will extend, the foot will flatten down, and the left arm will sail skyward. So again, you're welcome to stay here if this is better for you today, or flex and lift the left foot. Power out the mound of that big toe. Feel how it changes up the charge of that leg that's floating up. Stack the shoulders. Breathe. Exhale, bring the left foot down, the left hand down, bring the right foot back, and then take the left leg to the left side, plant the foot, and then take it into stargazer. Continue to breathe. And exhale, lower the left hand as well as the left knee. We're gonna do a quick twist here on the floor, and then we're gonna take a restorative pose. So flip your left hand, thread and loop it underneath the right arm, or thread the needle. This is a blend of both a twist and an inversion. And you get this nice shoulder stretch in the mix. Inhale, unwind. Restack the table. Lift your right hand open. Thread and loop it under the left. Sneak down towards the ear, the temple. Maybe push into the left hand to go a little deeper. But not to the point where it blocks your breath. Keep the breath fluid. And release out the pose. I'm going to give you an option here for Savasana. You can use the blocks like columns to create your Stonehenge, but make sure you scoot close enough so that your knees are more or less at the edge here, and the knees have support for the joints. Your other option, you need to open the front of the body, would be to lay the bolster down long ways, sit on top, or in the middle, so that your legs are up on one side and your head and shoulders are down to the floor on the other side. It's almost like a restorative position for a full bridge, but it's more subtle, less dynamic than a block, and more obviously cushy than a block. So think about what would serve your needs the best today. I'm gonna dim the lights. That's why I was walking back here to try to avoid that sound, but I missed it. Once you determine which restorative pose will serve your needs the best, feel free to cover with a blanket to hold your heat in. Stay warm. Remembering this concept that energy is in constant exchange. And the outside is often reflective of what's happening on the inside. The internal affects the external, and the external affects the internal. You're in a very Zen space. In a very clean space. You're in a healing space, regardless if you're in the studio or at home. This is the place you roll out your mat. This is your sacred ground. Go inside, relax your body, subdue your mind.
And in the state of relaxation, allow your heart to continue to expand and allow your awareness to continue to expand. calm. I am content. Calm and content. This calm state of contentment, slowly deepen your breath. If you're in Stonehenge pose, you can curl the knees and wrap them with your arms so that you're hugging them close to the heart. If you're in the other position, just bend your knees and roll away to one side. Those of you that curled in, roll to one side, and we'll all join each other in a comfortable seat. Bring the hands down to parent position, the heart. May we be reminded today to be in the question, are we being supported? Are our relations, our workspace, our home supporting us? Where do we have any stuck or stagnant energy that we can improve internally or externally, knowing that one will affect the other? The light within me honors and bows to that beautiful radiant light in each of you. Namaste. Namaste.